Yo, welcome back to another YouTube video, guys, and today we're at Brazil for the VSRL Social League race, and we are against some very tough opponents here. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but as we move up the grid in the race, I'll point them out because they are some elite drivers here. But yeah, in qualifying, I finished P13. Didn't have the best of runs, but still, it's a decent position. I get the alternate strategy, which I do use here. So yeah, but I'd just like to say that the feedback and support I've had on my Silverstone video is absolutely crazy. It's getting like consistent views every day, and I think it's around 150 views right now, so I'm very happy with that. The support on that was just crazy. I never thought I'd get that many views on my first video. I think my Spanish one is doing okay, along with there's another one that I've done as well, which is doing alright, and I appreciate every view I do get on the videos. But hopefully this one's a bit of a longer one, so hopefully like you guys stay around to watch the whole thing. I've tried to cut it up into just the highlights, so it's around 15 minutes long, so you can just skip through it or just watch all the highlights. It's up to you, I don't mind, as long as you guys enjoy it. But yeah, so we're coming up to the start of the race now. We just had the formation lap, warming up all the tyres. As you can see, my internet wasn't the best because some people had like the internet bars next to the name, and that kind of indicates that my internet wasn't very good, but it seems to have settled down now. And as you could tell in my voice, I was pretty nervous for this race as I want to get a good result. But here we go, 5 red lights and we're away. It's a pretty decent start, nothing amazing, no one really gets past us, and I think we gain a few positions around this corner, just going around the outside. But then it's just my hope, my everything, just my hopes get crushed, my heart sinks. I'm like, oh my god, I've crashed. Obviously it's a social race, so it isn't actually that dramatic, but that's what I was feeling at the time. But I thought, just get on the track and get going again. As you can see, we're by Snookster 07, so we're not too far off him, but with like around 4.2 seconds off the next guy. As you see, LR Fergie has come off and DNF'd, which is not very good. And yeah, that will be something that will happen all the way through. A lot of people are going to be DNFing, as you'll see in the title of this video. It's probably a world record. I think most of the people, apart from the top 5, DNF'd. So it's still a good race though, so definitely stick around to watch it. But on the first lap, as you can see, I spun off and I'm on the back of Snookster. The first couple of corners I was a bit shaky, just because my nerves were getting to me. But as we get into the laps, we'll definitely get a lot more better, a lot more confident as we try and overtake Snookster. But he does head into the pit lane, so he will pit on the first lap and will gain a position there. I believe Viper and Sir Quimph pitted as well, so we got a few positions there. And then on the next lap we have Big Boy Dewan, who's a very good driver, and Frenchie in the pits. Frenchie got a 5-second penalty, which will help us later on. But Big Boy Dewan, he's definitely someone to watch out for. He is a very good racer, very fast. Okay, clear. And as you see, Commandant Coco DNF's there. So just another one off the track. And we have Cam Rules. He's a very good driver. I'm very surprised that he was there. He's extremely good. I do rate him as a driver. I believe he races in my One Hub Racing League, or he might be the league above. But yeah, he's a very good driver. I believe he's friends with Big Boy Dewan. So yes. Okay, you're in the top 10. So we're now into the top 10. So we're moving up pretty fast. We're about 5 seconds behind race driver, but we do go and get a penalty, which is not very good this early on. We want to try and keep it clean as possible, but we end up getting a 3-second penalty. And you see, not too awesome Gum is off the track in DNF, so yet another DNF there. It's a constant theme in this race. And then so we just kind of skipped ahead here because nothing really happened for them laps apart from me getting another penalty. But as you can see, the Snookster's got an 8 seconds, so we're not the only one. There was quite a few people that do get penalties, which does help us out in the end. But Big Boy Duran's catching up to us, but we're also catching up to Race Driver 22. We're about a second and a half behind him. I do believe he's on the hards, and we're on some pretty old mediums now, so we should be able to catch him pretty quickly. But as you can see, massive dive bomb into that corner for no reason, and I lock up and lose about 2 tenths to Race Driver. But nonetheless, we carry on. As you can see, my tyres are so worn that I'm just locking up. I can't get the proper grip. It's so tough. But yeah, it's just the reality of racing. Your tyres are always going to get damaged as you go on. As you see, 32%, so it's pretty close to boxing, I would say. In the next like 5 laps, we should box really. I think we are on a 3 stop, if I'm 2 stop, sorry, if I'm correct. Just because I thought I'd have the pace around here to do the 2 stop. I think it was a medium set and 2 softs. Obviously we started on the medium. But we go past Giorgio in the pits. He's got a 13-second penalty, which is crazy. But then we're moving on to the next clip, and you see it's Pyro. He's gone off, crashed, and well, he hasn't crashed actually. He's just gliding along the straight, and he causes me and Race Driver a bit of a, it's a bit of a struggle there, but it's what it is. And then we skip a few laps ahead, and we are on the back of Race Driver. We're about 5 tenths off. We are in DRS, so we should be able to make the move here, and it's pretty easy. He just moves out of the way. But you see Giorgio is right behind us. He's trying to make a move, but we do go defensive, keep our car nice and wide. But he is going to make it past us. We're not going to really fight it. We'll just let him pass on this next part, because I know he's a very good driver and he's a lot faster than me. So I'll just let him go through, stick as close as we can to him, and get a bit of a slipstream on the straights. But I believe he does pull away pretty quickly. But he's on a 13-second time penalty, remember. So just keep an eye on that. As you see, if you do look at the penalties, like everyone has penalties now. But I'm trying to drive as clean as possible, because I know at the end of the race it's definitely going to come in handy if you have like little penalties or as little penalties as you need. Yeah, but into the pits. So we do overtake Race Driver, but we end up pitting because I believe he's on the 1 stop strategy, so he carries on. So into the pits, we're changing onto the soft tyres. That's a decent pit stop, nothing special, and I believe we will come out in 8th. Don't believe anyone else overtakes us. We do have Snookster coming in on the straight, but I think we should clear him pretty easily. And just like that, yep, we do hit the wall on the exit though, but I do check for damage. It doesn't look like we have any, so that was good. But we do come out in 8th with a 6-second time penalty, so it's looking alright. It's not looking amazing. But you see Race Drivers in the pits, and we just come around the corner. Will we beat them out? I think we just about make it in the end, which is definitely very good for us, because we're on the softs and we don't want to be behind a slower driver on the hard tyres. That will definitely ruin our race. But now we're just going to push and get all the way to Rizzi, who's 6 seconds ahead of us with a 3-second time penalty, so it's going to be very tough. Very, very tough. As you see, don't know who that is in the pits, but I'm not sure what quite happened. I believe they crashed in the pits and they just DNF'd, but it didn't like come up on the scoreboard or whatever it is, like the timing charts. So I couldn't quite tell who that was. But this, like, it's all happening. There's people stuck in the pits. There's who was that? Rizzi, who DNF'd, and there's a flipping tyre going down the straight, which I thought was pretty funny. But yeah, I'm not sure what was happening in the pits there. It was like really blocked up, like no one could get out. So I believe them drivers just DNF'd. But we're just pushing on. now race drivers ahead of us because we did pit onto a new set on, well, it wasn't lap 26, it was a bit before that, but we do have a safety car now. The only Tomo does overtake, but I think he was going to get penalised, so he just had to let me through there. Obviously because he was in first and there was no point overtaking me because he would have to sit behind the safety car, and so would I. So I just overtook him. And yeah, we got quite a few people pitting, like Big Boy Dewan, race driver. They're going on to fresh softs, so they are definitely going to be very punchy when we get racing again. But the safety car is in on lap 30, so I'll try to get my tyres up to temperature as best as I can, and we just keep an eye on Hector, making sure he doesn't go and we don't get left behind, because we want the best start as we can, because we've got Big Boy Dewan on fresh tyres, so we do not want to be or having him ahead of us, because we'll never catch him. We want to keep him behind as much as possible. But you see Hector goes, and we are trying to get in the slipstream of Giorgio and keep our position through turn 1, and we do get our elbows out and keep Big Boy Dewan behind us, but I believe he will come back on to us this straight and he should just breeze past. Is he going to make it? No, we do. Oh no, he does make a dive bomb, and I just decided just let him through because I don't want to get any damage. You see Giorgio has a 21-second time penalty, and so does Solo. So I was just thinking, keep the time penalties low and we can jump a few positions at the end. A couple laps on, we got Solo behind us trying to overtake. I believe he has DRS because it's activated now, but he couldn't quite get through on this corner. But I believe on the next he'll just basically do what Dewan done and have DRS and overtake us in the slipstream. But Big Boy Dewan is pulling away very easily, 1.8, 1.9 seconds. He's on, and fresh tyres are definitely helping him out. He's 2 seconds off Giorgio, but that's not too bad. But Giorgio has a 21-second time penalty, so he's going to be finishing very far down the order. But Han Solo, he isn't been able to get past, so I'm doing pretty well defending. I believe he was on fresh tyres as well, so I was pretty impressed by that. Obviously this is a social race, so I'm just trying to practice, get used to F1 2021, and I definitely enjoyed this race. Thank you very much to VSRL. It's a great league. If you guys want to join, I'll put the Discord in the bottom in the description. Yeah, I believe their sign-ups have closed now though, but they might be opening up a third division, so if they do, then definitely join that. They're a great league and they have great staff, so I definitely recommend that. But Han Solo just cannot get past me, but saying that, when DRS is open, he'll just breeze past like he does. He has the slipstream and DRS, so he can easily make the overtake. He does have a 14-second time penalty, so excuse me, that does mean that I just have to keep within 5 seconds. So on the last lap he's 3.3 seconds ahead of me, so I'm just literally pushing as hard as I can. My tyres are very worn out. I've had them on for 10 plus laps, so I'm just hoping if I can stay with Han Solo I'll be able to get my podium, but he has definitely got some pace on his tyres, and you'll see towards the end it gets very, very close to me finishing outside the top 3. You see Big Boy Dewan has a 3-second time penalty, but I believe that doesn't really matter because the guys above him have massive time penalties, 21 seconds, which definitely helps us, as you'll see in a bit. But coming through to the last couple of corners, Han Solo is still gaining on us. We just can't keep up with him. He's 4.1 seconds, so on this last straight I've saved all my ERS and I'm going to deploy it all the way through just onto the line, and we'll end up coming in P3 I believe, as you can hear me coughing as I had COVID last Wednesday. But as you can hear, I'm very, very happy with the result.
First ever podium.
Yeah, so Big Boy Dewan wins, Hector 21 comes second, I come P3, so that's it, and that is my first ever podium in online racing. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. hoping you guys managed to stay all the way through the video and it didn't get too boring or drag on, because I found it very fun to edit this one, and I have very high hopes for the video. So if you guys did enjoy, then definitely give it a like and a share, and maybe considering subscribing, because there should be a lot more league racing videos exactly like this coming up in the next couple of months. I should have a schedule for you guys on my Twitter in the next month. I'm just waiting to put it together, because a couple of the leagues I am going to be racing in haven't announced the dates yet, so I'm just waiting for that. And then yeah, it should be like a Friday, a Wednesday, a Monday, but definitely don't count on that because it can chop and change within the next couple of months. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you probably next Tuesday for a race at Silverstone with VSRL. So thank you very much. See ya.